Good morning.
And welcome to Pam's Branch Campus. As your dean, I thought I would share a few thoughts of wisdom and inspiration. So, what is Pam's Branch Campus? Well, you've heard all kinds of things. You've heard it's a loser college for TikTok addicts who can't stop moving. Great value Emma Chamberlains. Fellas who spend more time asleep than awake, and anonymous people without faces. That's what you've heard. However, I wish you all luck.
Sup, it's Sydney, and if you're thinking to yourself, didn't we request this video over a year ago? Yes, you did. But here's the deal. Somehow I've managed to get through 2 whole years of college with only getting A's and A minuses, which is actually pretty good, but I feel like as soon as I post this video, I'm gonna get a B, and that really shouldn't matter, but I'm one of those people that puts way too much self-worth on my grades, so I will kind of freak out. But because I love y'all, I'm gonna quickly put aside my unhealthy relationship with grades to help you all out. There's something on my hoodie. Oh yeah, this cute design that me and my brother made. Yes, that really was my lame way of saying that I have new merch. Both designs are kind of retro back to school themed, so if you want to join the club, get accepted into university with a 100% acceptance rate of those who buy the merch, so you don't have to feel the intense stress of applying and waiting for months and months to actually get into a college before you're inevitably disappointed, buy today. Let's get into it. You know, you're probably a little baby freshman if you're watching this video, probably a little bit scared, a little bit nervy coming into college, so let's start things off simple. When does the process of getting good grades start? A, on your first day of class. B, studying for your first college exam. Or C, after you get your first college exam back. None of them! Pranked. It actually starts months before that, aka whenever you're making your college schedule. One false move and you could turn out like me my freshman year. And who wants that? Have you seen those eyebrows?
What are those?
I'm a caterpillar.
I chose classes for my first semester schedule based on solely avoiding 8 a.m.s because I was like, I'm in college, I don't have to wake up early now. Did I get an extra hour of sleep because I could take my calculus class at 9:05 a.m. instead of 8 a.m.? Yes. But did I end up with Satan as a microeconomics professor?
Yes.
When you're making your college schedule, your number 1 priority should be getting the classes that you're supposed to, but your number 2 priority should be getting good professors. Because as much as I'd love to sit up here and say, all of your professors care about you and they're all super amazing and want to see you succeed, that's not the case. Some professors have been teaching for 45 million years and they collected their tenure in 23 BC and they're literally just lazy slugs who want their money. Go on Rate My Professor and search for a professor that teaches the class you're trying to sign up for. Then only look at the reviews under that professor for the specific class that you're taking. Otherwise, I'm just gonna say it doesn't really matter because some professors are better at teaching specific classes than they are about teaching other classes. Pretty much discard any of the reviews that have the grade as NA because what that means is that the student chose not to disclose what grade they got in the course, which could mean that they did really poorly just because they blew off all the work and are now trying to blame the professor for it. Once you've kind of filtered those out, you should have a pretty reliable group of reviews to look at and just read through them and make sure that you don't sign up for Satan. You have your schedule, everything's looking swell, and now it's the first day of school. Here comes the next piece of advice. As soon as your professor posts their syllabus or hands it to you on a piece of paper, read that sucker front to back. You might be looking at me like, oh, okay, so skim over the syllabus. No. Your syllabus is basically like the Bible for your course. It's gonna tell you how much your exams are worth, when they are, when projects are due, if you can collaborate with people on homework, and by taking this course, you basically are putting your hand on the Bible syllabus and agreeing to all the stuff that's in it and saying that you're going to abide by the rules. And if we've learned anything from presidential inaugurations, sometimes people will break those rules, and you don't want to be one of them. The next thing I would do with your syllabi is make an exam schedule or general due date schedule. This is one of my past semester's exam schedules, so as you can see, I have the date of the exam, how much it's worth, where it is, and also have it separated by each class, and then at the bottom I have all of my classes combined so I can get a kind of calendar list view of the order that the exams and important projects take place. Compile all of this information and make one of those schedules during your first week of school so you don't have to be that one kid that definitely ran all the way to the calculus first exam because he was late and was absolutely drenched in sweat, snatched that multiple choice Scantron, and was trying to hum through the whole exam even though he came in like over 25 minutes late and was pretty much guaranteed to fail that.
Run.
Don't be that kid. College isn't there to coddle you, and high school is over. So if you forget to do an assignment or skip class because you don't feel like going, that's on you, sis. If you skip class, you're kind of a clown.
That's clown shit.
Don't start your homework on the day that it's due. I can't sing. Sometimes you get overwhelmed or you just freaking don't feel like doing something, so you put it off, and then on the day that it's due, like a couple hours beforehand, you open it up, and then it's in hieroglyphics. So then you panic and you have a slight mental breakdown, you go to work on question 1, but then none of it makes any sense to you, so you go to email your professor, but then you realize if you email them about question 1 on the day that it's due, they're gonna think you're a total idiot. So what do? Cry. So to prevent crying, well, that's never gonna happen. College is just like that. To limit the amount that you cry, start it before the day that it's due. Find your study space somewhere that is not your bed, because you'll fall asleep. Also with this, recognize what type of environment you work in the best. Some people need complete silence to focus. Some people need a little bit of background noise or just feels kind of awkward. Just kind of know yourself and pick a place that is suitable for you. Find a texting buddy in each one of your classes. Imagine this. It's the day your assignment is due. It was assigned to you 2 weeks ago. You haven't even opened it yet or even started it. You start panicking because you don't know how to do it, but you don't want to email the professor because you'll look like an idiot. So what do? You text the kid from your class, because odds are you'll text that kid and be like, haha, so I know it's the day that it's due and I'm an idiot for not starting it, but I don't know how to do question 1. Oops. And they'll hit you back with mood and then tell you how to do it. Study in a group for your first study session before an exam, and then from there break off and do your studying individually. I think the group dynamic is great, but you don't want to study in a group the entire time because then you might think that you're understanding something, but in reality you're just going along with whatever the group says, and then you get to the exam and you're like, shit. But on the flip side, if you just study on your own the whole time, you may think that you're doing something the fastest and the best way, and then as it turns out, there's actually a better way that you haven't been exposed to because you didn't study in a group. If a class is mentally dragging you through the dirt, drop that ish. I'm definitely not saying to just drop any class that's giving you a hard time, because you would literally have 0 credits on your schedule. But if there's a class that is affecting your ability to do your other classes well because it's just so hard and time consuming and you have a horrible professor, just leave.
Club Godzilla, I ain't tricking.
When I was a little baby freshman, as I have mentioned, I had Satan as a microeconomics professor, and it was so hard and so unnecessary that it was actually affecting every single one of my other classes because I straight up didn't have time for them if I was gonna try and pass this one class. So I went and had an appointment with my academic advisor, and she was like, listen, if you stay in this class, odds are you're gonna be putting in so much effort to get what? Like a C? And then on top of that, the other classes that you're in that you probably could get A's and A-minuses in are going to start slipping too, because you're not going to have as much time and effort to put into them. I'm not saying just drop things left and right, but talk to your advisor, see what's best for you, and if it's really dragging you down, ditch that sucker. This one's real simple, and you'll probably hear it a lot from upperclassmen. Go to office hours. If your professor is willing to meet with you, meet with them. If you're having a bad day, week, month, half of the Earth's rotation around the sun, and are just feeling really overwhelmed, start knocking the easy stuff off of your list instead of just having a staring contest with it, because it's only going to make you feel worse. One of the most satisfying things ever is taking a pencil and just stabbing it right through the middle of something that you've completed. And if you do nothing, you're not going to get that feeling and you're not going to get the ball rolling. So even if it's something easy like take a shower, organize your notes, do it and then cross it off, and eventually maybe you'll work your way up to writing that essay that you've been putting off for 2 months. Make your own study materials, and then if you want, you can use other people's study materials as a supplement to your own. Usually what I'll do whenever I start studying for an exam is I'll go through my notes and take out the most important points, and then I'll make my own kind of spark notes of my own notes. And then after I do that and have a little baby study guide over there, I'll take out a blank sheet of paper and from memory just write down everything I remember about that particular unit without looking at anything else. And then afterwards, if I want to do practice problems or look at other people's stuff, that's totally fine, but I won't do that until I've done those two things. If you are blessed with extra credit and you don't do it,
I hate you.
and that might sound mean, but I hate you. No one said this advice was going to be nice. If you are given the rare opportunity to do extra credit, I don't care how much work it is, I don't care what grade you have in the class, do it. Because you never know when college is gonna frick you right in the butt. The last piece of advice I have might seem a little bit metaphorical, might seem a little bit cheesy, but if your college is as overpriced as mine, sorry Penn State, it's just the truth, then actually prioritize your learning over getting good grades. You are paying fat stacks to be at this place, and if you're just doing stuff to get a good grade and you're not actually learning anything, why are you spending fat stacks? I also feel like if you're prioritizing actual learning and education over the grade, then the grades will actually come with that. Maybe that was a cheesy way to end things, but maybe I also just care about y'all and I'm becoming a softie and I just want you all to be smart little human beings. If you want to get some cute merch to lounge around in, since your classes are probably all on Zoom anyways, click the link in the description. Don't let your grades define you, because you'll always be a part of Pam's branch campus if you want to be a part of it. If not, rude. Bye.